I really like to be optimistic and hopeful, though I just don't see the way in which the world is going to be a very bright future for the world. I guess to back up and give some context as to who I am and kind of why I'm making this video is that on this YouTube channel I share a lot about health and nutrition, what I eat, and just trying to give ways and strategies for people to optimize their health so that way they can optimize their happiness, abundance, and live a pain-free life. I don't think the way that I eat is very weird. I have meat, fish, eggs, dairy, fruit, some vegetables, so to me that's not anything crazy, but I recently was on a phone call where I had said my mother-in-law is coming in town and staying with us for 10 days. And the response was, so what is she gonna eat when she's with you guys? She's not gonna eat like you guys, right? And I know that this person didn't have any bad intentions. I know it was just a genuine question. What's my mother-in-law gonna eat when she's with us? But honestly, that question kind of bothered me because it made it seem like what I'm doing is weird. And I had to like validate and justify, of course my mother-in-law is gonna eat like us. It's gonna be great. She's gonna have salmon and bacon and eggs and steak and yogurt and all sorts of good stuff. We eat single ingredient whole foods and it's great. And the response was, oh yeah, but you know that even if you're eating just single ingredient whole foods, that's kind of weird nowadays. Even if you're eating a Whole30 diet, that would be considered strange. And I thought, that is very disappointing. Firstly, I am not perfect by any means, but I do find it concerning that people are not valuing their health. If you don't have your health, what do you have? And I find that people nowadays are just brushing off eating processed foods as like no big deal. This might seem conspiracy theory, but I just can't help but think that some of the processed food companies are infiltrating our mindset to make us think that if we're not eating processed foods, then we're therefore like a weirdo. I saw the other day a commercial for Kellogg's where they are promoting having cereal for dinner.
Cereal? You say dinner. Cereal.
Dinner!
Cereal.
Dinner!
Chicken!
You can have the night off, chicken.
Okay.
And saying that for people who are low income, then for them they should be eating cereal for dinner because it's affordable.
The idea of having cereal for dinner, is there the potential for that to land the wrong way?
We don't think so. In fact, it's landing really well right now. It turns out that over 25% of our consumption is outside the breakfast occasion. A lot of it's at dinner, and that occasion continues to grow. Cereal for dinner is something that is probably more on trend now, and we would expect to continue as that consumer is under pressure.
At one point, Kellogg's really wanted to promote this as a trend to eat cereal for dinner, that they started to offer money to incentivize people to post on social media with them having their cereal for dinner, and they would win money if they did this.
Kellogg's is giving 5 people the chance to win $5,000 and a year's worth of Kellogg's cereal. You need to have an Instagram account and you post pictures of yourself eating Kellogg's for dinner.
I don't think people are connecting the way that food impacts our health. They're not seeing that maybe the food that they're eating is contributing to PCOS, allergies, asthma, psoriasis, joint pain, mental health issues, brain fog, fatigue.
Of course, all diseases begin in the gut, and food is the most powerful influence on human health. There is no doubt about it. I know we live in a society where this idea is kind of brought down and the mainstream doesn't accept it and is not keen to promote it because it's not profitable. But the truth is, there is nothing in this world more powerful in its effect on your health than food.
Diet is everything for every part of your body.
Your diet that you eat on a daily basis, that is 90% of your health.
90% of all cells in the human body are in the digestive system. So your gut flora is 90% of you. Every morsel of food you put in your mouth changes everything in your body.
When I was a kid, a typical pediatrician would see 1 case of diabetes in his entire career. Today, 1 out of every 3 kids who walks through his door is pre-diabetic or diabetic. Something's wrong. We're spending more just on diabetes than our entire military budget. And nobody's saying, why is this happening? And we know why it's happening. It's high fructose corn syrup, and it's glyphosate and neonicotinoids and atrazine and all the other crap that is in our food. We're not feeding people, we're poisoning them.
And I think what bothers me most is processed food companies. They know that their food is not health promoting, and yet they keep pushing it on people and making money off the backs of people's health.
In the United States, for example, corn, rice, wheat, oats, they're all subsidized by the federal government. And so basically the big food corporations get these commodities, because that's what they are. They're not food, in my opinion. And they can make products, which are not food, in my opinion, that are shelf stable, that will not kill you acutely. So there's no danger of ongoing lawsuits because you kill my mama with this pizza crust or with this loaf of bread. But they are, in fact, slow inflammatory poisons to the human system.
The food that they produce is not even food anymore. It's commodities. And most of it's going to processed food companies that are using 1,000 ingredients that are all banned in Europe. It's poisoning the food.
They produce certain chemicals which get into your brain and give your brain pleasure, and the brain wants more. So you become a drug addict. The most addictive substance on the planet, by far, is sugar. There is nothing as powerful in creating an addiction than sugar. And vast majority of humanity are addicted to sugar. Far more addictive than illicit drugs, cocaine, or anything else. People also find that surprising because everybody's eating these things, so everybody's addicted.
There's no way I believe processed food companies don't see that we have more obesity than ever, more people with depression, more people who have diabetes, and the processed food companies are like, oh, I have no idea where that's coming from. I definitely think they have an idea that their food is not providing people health, and they have the money to be able to advertise on commercials and all over social media and in the grocery stores. You know, you never see a commercial with people promoting eating salmon. You never see a commercial that's like, hey, go to your store, get some salmon, it's nutritious and it's delicious.
You say dinner.
Salmon. Dinner! Salmon.
Dinner! I know this sounds extreme, but I feel like it's criminal for processed food companies to be able to pump out their food and not put a disclosure on their packaging that says, hey, this food's actually not healthy for you, but you can still buy it. Like alcohol, at least with alcohol we disclose that, hey, this could mess you up. Meanwhile, with processed foods, their labels say heart healthy. What? These processed foods are addicting, where nowadays if you don't eat the processed foods, you're the weirdo for trying to be healthy. It'd be one thing if eating healthy tasted really nasty, but my meals, I'm like, there's no way fast food is beating what I'm making. And even nowadays, fast food isn't even more affordable. Eating processed foods isn't that much more affordable than eating healthy. Yes, it is a little bit more expensive to eat healthy, and that's set up by design. You know, if you eat healthy, they want you to spend the money for it because everything else that's cheap was just made in a laboratory and didn't cost them that much to make. Let's say one bag of beef jerky costs 10 bucks nowadays, and you can get 5 bags of chips for that same price. Therefore, someone would think, well, I should get those 5 bags of chips because then at least I can afford having 1 bag every day while I'm at work. Sure, there's more calories in those bags of chips, but those aren't the kind of calories that I'd want to be consuming. They don't provide my body with any health whatsoever. Those ingredients are creating more inflammation, making me more sick, making me not live my most abundant life. I asked this question to someone the other day, and I'd love to hear what you have to think about this question as well, but I asked, why do you think that people eat processed foods if they know it's not good for them? And the person responded, because people are lazy. And I thought, I don't want to accept that people are just lazy and that's why they're having these foods, because by saying that, it means that people don't care about their health, they don't care about their life, they don't love themselves enough to want to prepare a more proper meal. What's even more challenging about this is that people might want to live a healthy life, but they don't even know what's considered healthy anymore, let alone healthy foods have been tampered with, and even healthy foods aren't as healthy as they used to be. So then some people say, forget it, I don't care, I'm just going to eat whatever I want then. But I don't think that's going to bring them as much happiness as they think it will. If we say we're done trying, then that means we've given up, and we've given up on our life. I'm not allowed to say this word on YouTube without getting busted, so I'm just gonna put it up on the screen, but I saw something on social media the other day where someone said, being overweight is a form of fill in the blank. And granted, I do think that people can be healthy at different body types. I think someone can be 10, 20, 30 pounds overweight and still be healthy, but I don't think someone can be 100 pounds overweight and have booming, vibrant health. I really just don't think people are making the connection between how important food is for our overall well-being. Sure, things like getting good sleep and exercise, getting sunshine, there's other things that can contribute to our health, but a big, big part of our health is what we are putting into our bodies. Are we honoring this body? Are we thinking of this body as our temple, as our temporary home? Are we treating it with love? Or are we just saying, oh, I'm too lazy, I'm gonna settle for the convenient thing? I don't even think eating healthy is inconvenient, but this is just something that's been on my mind a lot because I see how right now the world is really accepting body positivity and eating whatever you want and you do you, boo, and it's like, we're not setting our world up for success. It also doesn't make me very happy that when people go to their doctors and their doctors say, oh, you have PCOS, or oh, you have dizzy spells, or oh, you have this thing going on, don't worry, I've got a medication for you, and if that medication doesn't work, I've got a whole list of other ones you can try. I don't think all doctors have bad intentions, but it's like, how are we not educating our doctors that there's other options and other ways that people can get healthy and get healthy long term?
There's a study that I read this week that showed girls who eat processed food are 1,400% more likely to engage in violence than girls who do not. You know, this is a mental health issue, the depression, the anxiety, the autoimmune diseases that our kids are now ubiquitous in that generation. Kids are not supposed to be sick like that. They're not supposed to be complaining of brain fog. They're not supposed to be on Adderall and albuterol inhalers and insulin and all this other stuff. That is not what children are supposed to look like. And they don't look like that anywhere else in the world. Only here. We have the highest chronic disease rate on Earth.
The amount of youth and kids nowadays who are on medications is mind-boggling. Whether you believe in God or Mother Nature, or however you think the world came to be, do you think that whatever created humans on this planet created them in a flawed way where they need medications in order to survive? Then why are we needing these things so much nowadays? It just makes me sad that people are giving up. And it makes me sad that we're just going with the status quo and that we're not questioning the establishment. We're not questioning the way that things are being run. We're not questioning why 90% of our grocery store is filled with processed foods. Why is not 90% of our grocery store filled with healthy foods? We are not setting up our society. We're not setting up our generations to come. We are not setting up our people and caring about our people. We are saying, I want money. I want power. I want to control people. I want to use people's brains. I want people to be sick, fat, overweight, and not be able to use their brains and create a generation to come of people who are vibrant and who are going to make the society and make this world a better place. Truly, that is how I feel. And I don't think we have to be perfect. I think it can be fine to have these processed foods once in a while. I actually had a great interview with Dr. Bill Schindler where he said, the problem isn't that people are having candy on Halloween or that people are having pie on Thanksgiving. The problem is that people are having these things every single day for years and for decades. And now look where we are. Before we continue on, if you've been enjoying this message, please give this video a thumbs up as it helps this message reach more people. And I think more people need to hear this stuff. Also, today's video is sponsored by Element Electrolytes. I've been having these electrolytes every single day for several years now. Essentially, it's a packet that comes like this that I pour in my water and mix it up. And it has the sweet taste as if it were like a soda, but it doesn't have any sugar or artificial ingredients. These electrolytes also provide my body with essential minerals and nutrients that my body needs, including sodium, magnesium, and potassium. Electrolytes are really important for our heart regulation, our nerves, our hydration, muscle cramping, fatigue, low energy. I actually used to struggle with a lot of eye twitching, therefore I increased my electrolytes and this all went away. So electrolytes are really important for many different functions within the body, and this is just another way to get more electrolytes in that also tastes really great. You can use the link in the description to get 8 additional free packets of all of Element's different flavors with any drink mix order, or you can get those 8 free additional packets of all of Element's different flavors by going to the URL drinkelement.com/LillieKane. They also offer a money back guarantee, so if you try it and you don't like it, you can get your money back. I recognize junk food tastes delicious, but I promise you, healthy food is also very tasty. I eat it every day, and I love all of my meals. I genuinely look forward to everything I eat, and I'm excited. Like I had mentioned, my mother-in-law came in town to be with us for 10 days. We fed her all of her meals, and she loved every single meal we gave her. She was like, dang, I feel like I'm going to a 5-star restaurant every day. We make eating healthy a bigger deal than it actually is. It's not that hard. It's not that untasty. It's not that expensive. It's really good for every part of your body. If our body is made up of cells, and our cells are made from what we eat, then we should be recognizing every single thing that we put into our body is making up who we are. Not just how we look, but how we feel, how we think, how we smell, how we behave in the world, how we think about ourselves, how many times we get sick throughout the year, our skin, how our children behave, how our children are developing, how we treat others. The foundation starts with food. I don't get how processed food companies and the pharmaceutical industry don't see that long term, this isn't a good plan. Sure, in the short term, the processed food companies and big pharma can have more power and they can have more control over people. If we keep people sick and they can't think clearly, then we can get more of their money. But in the long run, we could have a way more successful society and more people who are productive and who are contributing to society if people are healthy. I know it's hard. I know it's so hard to not eat those foods. One, because they're delicious, but two, because everyone's eating them. People ask me all the time, Lillie, what's the secret to health? And I'll say 3 things: sleep, move the body, and eat single ingredient whole foods. Not for a day, not for a week, not for a month, but for the rest of your life. And I know it's hard because nowadays in society, if you're trying to eat healthy, it's kind of like swimming upstream where you're going against the current because everybody else is not doing that. And so in doing so, when you're at the work events, traveling, at social gatherings, at restaurants, you are like the odd one out. But it's not actually as hard as people think to eat healthy. And like I said, I just had my mother-in-law in town and we went on a little mini vacation. And so I'm gonna post a video here soon showing how we navigated going out to amusement parks, going out to dinner, and show how it's not that hard to be healthy and still have a very happy and abundant and joy-filled life. So if you're interested in seeing that, be sure to subscribe. And if you're looking to talk more one-on-one about the next step you can be taking on your health journey, I do offer one-on-one coaching where I help people lose weight, build muscle, overcome an autoimmune condition, build healthy meal plans, answer your questions. And so if that interests you, I'll leave a link to my coaching services in the video description. I hope you have a happy day. Keep leading by example, going against the grain, eating healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.